Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Tutoring Made Easy. The goal of this channel is to set us on a math journey to make math easy and enjoyable. If this is your first time coming in contact with our channel, please do us a favor by subscribing to our channel and liking the video and sharing to as many people as possible. If you also have been watching our video but you don't have the time or you've not found the appropriate time to subscribe to our channel, please do so. Please do so. Today, we are going to be looking at the quadratic formula. We started looking at quadratic equations, and we did mention that there are three methods. There are three methods used in solving quadratic equations. We said the first method was the factorization method, which we looked at in our last video. The factorization method. If you're here and want to use the factorization method in solving the quadratic equation, I will entreat you that you go to our channel and look at the video section, and you'll definitely find quadratic equation factorization method. The second method is what we are going to do today. The second method is what we're going to do today, which is the quadratic formula. Then the next time we might look at the third method, which is completing of squares, So today we'll just focus on the quadratic equation. The third one I mentioned is the completing of squares method, but we'll do that later, not today. Today we are just simply going to focus on the quadratic formula. So let me just wipe this board quickly, and then we can proceed. We can proceed from there. So the quadratic formula, remember, we said a quadratic equation is always of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. That's what we said the other time. And that if there's an equal to sign in the expression, it makes it an equation. And also, if the power of the coefficient of if the power on the x squared, the power on the x here, if the power is 2, sorry, is a sign, that it's a quadratic or equation. Now, the formula is the formula is the formula says x, the value of x is always equal to minus b plus or minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared, minus 4ac, the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So this is the formula. In certain countries, they might provide you with a cheat sheet where you have some formulas going into the exam room, so you don't need to actually memorize this. But depending on the kind of exam you're taking, you need to kind of, memorize. Find a way to memorize this formula. It's called the quadratic formula. It's x equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now, how do we get this formula? Where is this formula coming from? Is it coming from the skies, or it just appeared? It's like a magic? No. It comes from the third method. We normally can use the third method. The third method is used to prove it. The third method is used to derive it, to derive the formula, to derive it. But we are not doing the third method today, which is the completing of squares. Today we're just focusing on the quadratic formula. So let's begin by looking at some examples. Let's look at some examples. So let's imagine that we have the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx, we said this of this form, plus c is equal to 0. If they give you a problem, a quadratic equation problem, the first thing you need to write is the quadratic form, the quadratic equation form. This is the quadratic equation form. This is the quadratic equation form. That's the form right there. And it's of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the quadratic equation form. Now, the question we are being given here is 2x squared. We've been given 2x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. So the first thing, if you get a problem, the first thing we do, this is the first step. First step is to write this quadratic equation form, ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Then the second step is to write the question. This is the second step. The second step is the question. What's the question? What's the question? You write the question. That's the second step. Then the third step is to determine the variables, the letters A, B, and C. We're going to determine the letters A, B, and C. So here we can see that A is 2, right? We can see right here. If we bring something here, we know A is 2. And then here, we can see that the B is negative 4. You can see that, right? B is negative 4 right there. Negative 4. This is A. And then we can also see that C is plus 2 right there. C is plus 2. So the third step is to determine the variables. So the variables, that's what we found. A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 4, and C is plus 2. C is plus 2. Now, the fourth step, right? The fourth step is to write a formula down. The formula. What's our formula? Our formula says that if you have x is going to be equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. That's the fourth step. The fourth step is to write the formula down. Now the fifth step is to plug in the values. We chuck in the values. So the fifth step is put in values. Put in the values. Put in the values. That's our fifth step. So our x is going to be what? Remember, it's minus b. So minus comes first. And what is our b? Our b is minus 4. Don't forget that. The b is minus 4, but there's a minus in the formula before the b. And we also have plus or minus the square root of b squared. What's b? B is minus 4, and then you square it. This is the b. Minus 4, we square it. And then we have a minus in the formula. We bring 4. What's our a? Our a is 2. And what is our c? Our c is also 2. And then we're going to divide everything by 2 multiplied by a. And a is also 2. So that's our fifth step. Our fifth step is to plug in what? The values. And then now we begin to solve. The next step is to solve. So how do we go about that? Now our x is going to give us what? Negative. This negative multiplied by this negative. We give you positive. So it's going to be plus 4. But we don't need to write plus 4. But I'm just showing that it gives us positive 4. We have our 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared. The square root of negative 4 squared gives us 16. I said the square root. The square of negative 4. If you have negative 4 squared, what it means is the same as negative 4 multiplied by another negative 4. Remember, the 4 and 4 will give you 16. The negative multiplied by negative gives you positive. So that's why we're getting a positive 16 right there. So we're getting positive 16. And then we're going to have minus the 4 times 2 is 4. So we get another 4 in here. All divided by 2 times 2, which is 4. We're going to get 4 plus or minus. This 4 is going to come 4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 16. Because 4 times 4 is 16. All divided by 4. And then we are going to have x. We're going to have x is equal to 4 plus or minus square root of 0 all over 4. And we're going to get x is equal to 4 plus or minus 0. Because the square root of 0 is 0. 0 divided by 4. And that gives us x is equal to 4 plus 0 over 4. Or x is also equal to 4 minus 0 over 4. Y plus and y minus. Remember, the formula says plus or minus. So we're having 4 plus 0, the positive side, and 4 minus 0, the negative side. And we are going to get, let me clean this side quickly. And then we are going to get we're going to get x is equal to 4 divided by 4, or x is equal to 4 divided by 4. And x gives us what? 1. We know x, the value of x is equal to 1. I hope this video helps clarify how to use the quadratic what? Formula. The quadratic formula. So the sixth step is the last step. The sixth step is the last step, which talks about solving the problem. And then we know that our x is equal to 1. Our x is equal to 1. If you are watching us for the first time, and you haven't subscribed, please do us a favor by subscribing to our channel, Tutoring Made Easy. Like this video and share it to as many people as possible. If you have been watching our videos but you haven't had the time, the right opportunity to subscribe, please do so now, please, so that you can help us grow our channel and be a part of this family who is ready to embark on this math journey to make math enjoyable and easy. I'll come to you another time. Take care and bye.